Hello and welcome to another update video about Fantom. Fantom is doing at the moment everything according to plan. If you remember, if you've been watching my channel for a while, we've been talking here throughout this uptrend about the upcoming correction. Took profits up here. We talked about that in the videos, perfectly at the peak. We then came down, spent a while here sort of in this range here. And as we then broke below the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average and had that death cross coming, since then the price has been heading further down. Oh, by the way, I think actually this is the 20-day moving average. Let me just put the 50-day on the chart because that is actually the death cross. But here we also had a death cross. And since then we have been heading further down. We've hit the target area here. A few days ago, we talked about it. That was that low of the wave A. By the way, this target area we had defined when we started to move down here. Prices seemed crazy back then when we talked about a $1 Fantom. But again, you can see how times change perspective. And now we're diving deeper here into the target area. Here we already reached the target area. But when we reach it here at around $1.14, I told you that the primary expectation remains that we're heading further down, especially as we did not at the time see a strong reaction to that target area, to that support level. So that then indicates that we are coming down further. The next logical support, well, I think we are going to find support at the psychological $1 mark. This is also where we had support here end of September. That is pretty much logical that you find some support there, but the next main area of support will be that 87 cent level. That is the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level. And also we had resistance back here in May 21 at exactly this level, and also here in February 21. This is the area where I would now expect the price to head into, and we can now narrow down the target area. That's always what I say. We can define a broad target area, but when that target area is then reached, then we can narrow it down. Because here in this case now, the next logical one would be that 87 cent level. That's what we've been talking about as a very likely support. I think at the moment, the way the price is behaving, I don't even think that 54 cent level at the 88.7% Fib level is unrealistic. So these are the levels that we've been talking about. These are also the levels to which many other cryptos have already retraced to. So my view here is, and I know a lot of people have the view that this is now all because of the negative news about Fantom. But obviously when we came up here back in December, we didn't know anything about these news that key developers would be leaving the project. And still we define these price levels, which just tells me that it is typically what cryptos are doing. This kind of a correction is what cryptos are doing, especially at the moment, especially as long as they are that young. And these are also the Fibonacci retracement levels that these cryptos and altcoins are coming down to. So it's logical that you have to expect an 78.6% Fib level or 88.7% Fib level, because historically and generally that is what young assets are doing. They are typically coming down, they are retracing to these levels, and that is where they, with the highest probability, and again it's all about probabilities, but with the highest probability they are finding the turnaround. So between it will be now, as we have broken that wave A low, as we have broken that $1.14 level, it will now be the 87 cent level between that and the 54 cents. But again, we don't know if it will find support at 87 or if it will go down further. We then need to evaluate as soon as that level is hit. How does the price react to it? How does the price action look like? Do we see green candles? Do we see a fairly strong reaction? Because that is what we want to see. We want to see a strong reaction to a support level from which we can then start to head further north. That is what Fantom is doing. Looking good so far, all according to plan, and I would expect the price to reach at least the 87 cent level now that we have broken that previous low. And that is exactly what we want to see. We want to see that ABC correction play out with that wave C to create a lower low, and either here at the 78.6% or the 88.7% level. And again, this is now getting into the range in which other cryptos already are. So Fantom has actually performed quite well compared to other cryptos. It has also been quite late, to be honest, in that correction. That is why it has been my view here throughout that we are going to come down further, but it was just later. Yeah, whereas for example Cardano has started the correction in September, Fantom has not really started with that last leg down since January. Yeah, or before. Well, actually it started already end of October with this wave A down. We then saw a strong move up, which was again part of the correction, that wave B, similar to what Bitcoin did, and now we are heading down in that wave C. Not complete yet, but it has also now done the minimum what it needs to do in a correction. It has done the lower low. That is what needs to happen typically. We need to clean up everything that has happened further previously in this chart. So we need to make that lower low. This will now allow us to start again to new all-time highs, but only if and only as soon as the correction is finished. And at the moment we cannot see a sign that the correction is finished. The overall move up, if we assume the price will maybe get down to 87 cents, the next wave to the upside, I'm going to talk about, or I'm talking about the next major wave to the upside. The target for that will be around $5.53. And at the moment that is roughly a 5x from where we are. But if we drop really down to 54 cents, then we are talking here about a 10x. But that would be the minimum target, that 553. Maybe we're also getting all the way up to the $6.80 level. And depending on how bullish Fantom will be, we could even see that 2.618 Fibonacci extension level at 886. So good to see everything going according to plan at the moment. Generally here on the daily chart, we can see that the price is way below the EMA ribbon. Yeah, this is considered bearish. We can also see that here on the VPVR, the historically traded volume, we can actually see that we have now crossed an area in which we had a lot of support that has been left behind us. We are now approaching an area where there is not a lot of support, and the next peak of support will be, as I said before, this 87 cent level. So it makes sense to get down to that level now. Yeah, and especially if you break one Fib level, you're usually gonna go to the next one. So all looking positive, not overbought, not oversold yet here on the daily. Getting close, but I think with that level of where we currently are, just above 30, we can still get to that blue target range. Yeah, so absolutely. The MACD also turning further down, but we are getting close now to a potential recovery because we did drop quite a lot and we are getting close to being oversold. So at some point here, you're going to see a little bit of a correction before we're probably going to head down further. Here on the 4-hour chart, you are already oversold, and therefore the downtrend is already slowing down a little bit, but there seems to be a little bit more further downside potential. And that is my view here on Fantom at the moment. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe and leave a comment. And if you really like the content, maybe check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.